Hi everyone, welcome to another Tuesday edition. If you're new to my channel, I'm Tammy, I'm the Siberian Wind, and welcome to my studio. I know it looks very different tonight than what you guys are used to seeing. There's no machine in front of me, which is incredibly shocking news. I have got my big baby, my one that I call Beauty. She is hanging out in the closet. I've got this plastic table set up. I've got another one ready to pull out so I can layer quilts. I've got my long arm set up. I'm working on it. It's still hit or miss, so you guys may hear a lot about that in the next few days. I'll of course have a machine tomorrow. Don't panic. And then I've actually got my cutie frame set up off to the side. It's not even set up with a machine on it right now. Um, just trying to get things going with my long arm. So welcome in on a Tuesday night. I'm glad you guys are here. I see I've got Joyce and Judy and Joy T. I've got William and so Terry and you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am going to go ahead and drop the retreat link into the chat. So if you are a chatter on the channel, whether you chatted live or you've commented after a live is done, if your name is one I recognize, or you can comment now to let me know. The retreat is February 22nd and 23rd. It will open up Saturday morning. I don't know exactly what time I'm going to open it up yet, but it will run until 1 hour before my live on Sunday night. So everybody can join in to the After Sunset Sunday. So it is a Zoom retreat. It is virtual, which means you can hang out in your pajamas and sip coffee or, hang out, go get your dinner and come back and, come chat. You can sew, all of that kind of thing, all from the comfort of your home, and you can join other like-minded sewers like yourself, sewists like yourself. So how are you guys doing tonight? What are you guys up to? Are you working on a project tonight? I'm actually doing a little bit of recovering. I am not feeling fantastic. I have pushed my body to its limits, and my body is speaking back to me. And of course, my dog happens to grab a bone right as we get started with the live tonight. So you guys may hear him off in the background chewing away. Here, come. Hey, help. Come. Will you bring it? Come here. Let me see it. Bring it. We'll take it away for now, if he'll let me. No, he's going to go a little bit further out into the living room to go chat. So how are you guys doing tonight? I know I'm starting a few minutes early. Not much. Not like I normally do. Not 15 minutes early. We do have a couple things we're going to discuss tonight. I'm not going to sew, so we won't be on here super late, but we are going to have some discussions tonight. Terry says I should put together a quilt top, and her body is rebelling as well, so Pop and I am cozy and watching. Exactly, right? And Judy says, let him have his bone. My husband keeps taking them away because my husband forgets to pick up his feet, or he forgets to watch where he's walking, and he regularly steps on the dog's bones. So yeah. This quilt will end up needing some repair. If you guys have seen this one before, let's see. William says he finally finished his patchwork coat. He's about to post a short. Oh my gosh, yay! I'm so excited about that. So guys, this is the one that you guys know me for. This is that Y seam, the tumbling block quilt. The one that my friend cut out all the pieces before she passed away, and the puppy got a hold of it. So we now have a hole in here. So what I'm going to do to repair it, and I'm not going to work on this tonight. This is not a tonight problem. This happened probably a couple weeks ago. I flat bawled when I saw what he'd done to my quilt. Judy says she's still limping along, do a little and then have to rest. This respiratory thing has worn me out. Yes. Breathing problems. I could say so many words, but I'm on YouTube and I'm the face of my channel, so I'm not going to, but I could say some things. Believe me, I understand. I understand. Yes, I agree, Terry. Can't wait to see it. So what I'm going to do, because this is my quilt, I can do whatever I want to with this quilt. It's not going to be judged by anyone but myself. So I can do what I want. It's just going to be a little uneven because I've done this. What I'm going to do, because the binding is also chewed up here, as well as the fabric, but it's not that far down. Like he didn't get, I mean, that's like 2 inches down. So William, we were doing the yard measurements. Welcome in, Katie. Glad you were here. So we were doing the yard measurements where you measure from your nose to the tip of your fingers. At least for most women. Welcome in, Chloe. At least for most women, your inch is from the top of your thumb or the edge of your thumb to your thumb knuckle. Welcome in, Gladys. Glad you're here. Thank you for joining tonight. So what I'm going to do is I will unstitch the binding all the way from here, all the way over, and I will unstitch it all the way along this top edge. So this entire binding top edge is going to get unstitched very carefully, mind you, very carefully. And I'm going to unstitch it probably about 5 inches down from the corner. So I'll unstitch it all the way down on this side and stitch it down on this side. And what I will do is I will take this and I will lay it flat on a cutting mat and I will give it a new edge. So I will cut a new edge and then I will rebind, and I will of course trim my binding where it's damaged, and I'll rebind the other direction. And when I meet here, meet where the binding pieces will end up meeting, I'll trim the binding and match it like I would normally would. So I'll cut the dog slobber parts out and all of that. So this quilt's gonna need some TLC, but it was cold, and this was the only quilt that we have on the rack right now. All the other quilts are either on a bed or they are put up in a cabinet right now. So aside from the ones that I need to finish quilting, this was the only quilt I could grab on short notice when it was cold. It is 9 degrees and feels like probably -9 would be my guess right now. It's been in the negative. Oh, it feels like -12. The low tonight's like -5. So we're fighting the cold, and I'm fighting the fibro flu. It's the whole deal. It's the whole deal. Welcome in, Pam. Hi, Tammy and all. She says, thank you. Glad you are here. And Gladys just dropped her channel link in. If you guys have not checked out Gladys over at The Confident Quilter, please do so. Please give her some love as well. She's a fantastic content creator. So we're going to have a serious chat, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer before we get into the serious part. We're going to keep it a little bit lively before then. So I have not pulled these guys out for a little bit. These are the random questions that we can ask. Ooh, that's a good question. So if somebody says something, oh, are we frozen? We better not be frozen. I hope we're not frozen. Let me see what YouTube is saying about the stream health. YouTube is saying we're good. So let me know. Am I frozen, you guys? Oh, we were. Okay. Ugh. Okay. So how much do we miss? Welcome in, Rita. Glad you're here. Okay, so I'm back. Welcome in, Melanie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freeze, guys. Apparently, you talking about the weather encouraged my internet provider to freeze us. My internet provider has decided to put the freeze on everything. So the question is, what is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? Melanie says the buffering is bad for her. So you might have to leave and come back in. That's usually what's been happening when YouTube has been causing us grief, is everybody's having to leave and come back in, because YouTube is just it's messing with everything. So the first question is, what is the weirdest thing you have eaten? I'm trying to think of what the weirdest thing that I've eaten is, because I don't think I've really eaten anything weird. So Terry says pig's ear, never again. Oh my goodness. I have not had that. Welcome in, Mona. Glad you are here. Thank you. I am going to drop that retreat link back in the chat as well again. I need to set it up to automatically drop in. What do they do now? Oh my goodness. Which one? Who did what? Wait, who's on first? So what did Jess do? Wait, no. What's on second? So I don't know. And I'm on third. Mona ate raw oysters. Oh my goodness. That's definitely something I know I have not eaten. Welcome in, Sherry. Glad you're here. Terry says friends and they made it special for us and I didn't want to insult. Oh, that is always tough. That is so tough because you really don't want to insult anyone. Oh, what did YouTube do? Yeah, YouTube is all over the map. YouTube is just being YouTube. We're just going to say it that way. YouTube's being YouTube. I don't think I ate anything weird. I tried stuff once and never again. Oh, yeah. Rita says calamari is the weirdest. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I've had calamari. I've been at tables where other people have eaten calamari, but I've never been interested in it. Welcome in, Jess. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. The question we're answering right now is, what is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? The app is different. Yes, it is. The YouTube app is definitely different than computer. And yeah, my internet provider is doing a lot of weird stuff. Calamari is squid, says Rita. Mona says that she likes calamari. JT says I'm going in and out. Be right back. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening with YouTube. Pam says she agrees, not a fan of calamari. Melanie says that she's eaten raw oysters. Y'all just haven't eaten the good ones. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure. I've eaten some crazy fish. Like, I don't remember what fish it was. Oh, Mona's eaten squirrel. And Terry says baked clams, not raw. Mona's eaten frog legs. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is crazy food. I haven't eaten... I've almost eaten alligator, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Oh, well, I haven't had raw shark either. Rita, she says calamari has a similar taste and texture to raw shark. And Terry says, no, Mona, no. Oh, Pam says anything raw is just not happening. It's just nope, not happening. So the closest that I've come to anything raw is I did have a little bit of, I had a little bit of sushi in Boston when I was a teenager, and I don't eat rice, so that was probably my strangest thing. Gosh. Judy says the frog legs are cooked right. It's fantastic. Oh my goodness. You guys have got some weird stuff that you've eaten. Welcome in, Lori. Glad you're here. Mona says that she likes steamed and raw clams. I don't know that I've had clams. I've had, hi Sandy. She says, hi, all lurking while eating dinner. Oh, well, appropriate that we were asking the craziest thing you've ever eaten. Oh my gosh. Craziest thing. Judy says she had alligator and it was not bad. See, I think that would probably be the route I would go for something crazy to try, would be eating alligator. I think I could probably stomach the idea of eating alligator. And there's a lot of people that this isn't crazy food for them. Mona says pickled artichoke. I have had pickled asparagus. Jess says, give me a seafood boil any day. Oh, right. It's got to be cooked for me. It's got to be cooked. The one I do not like is Rocky Mountain oysters. We did them on the ranch every spring. Nope, I do not like them. um, Mona says pickled pig's feet. Didn't care for crawfish, says Judy. Pickled eggplant, says Terry. You guys have eaten some weird stuff. Some of it that I like and some of it that I don't. I've never had pig's feet or pig's ears. Debbie says that she won't eat any seafood or anything other than the basics. Welcome in, Debbie. Glad you're here. William says he's back. Hello, everyone. William, everybody's answering the weirdest thing that they've ever eaten. That's the question going on right now. So, now I will say this. I don't like hedge cheese. Ooh, I haven't had hedge cheese. I have not had that. My she is killing me too, Terry. She's saying, Mona, you're killing me, or Mona, you're killing me. No, no. I really. Oh goodness, Rita. She says she did a survival camp thing years ago in Colorado and ate worms. This reminds me of all the things we dared our siblings to eat. Like if we were the older sibling, I was the baby, so I was not the older sibling. But all the things you would dare somebody else to eat just to see if they would eat it. I mean, this is some weird stuff, you guys. My weird is not anywhere on this list. I've had some weird food combinations. I mean, some people think pineapple on pizza is weird. I have had that and I like it. Rita, love is pickled cow tongue. Now that is good stuff. Mona asks Rita, did they run out of beans and jerky? Oh, Judy and Chloe. Rita is the winner. Wow, Rita. Lollipops with bugs in it. Ooh. I don't think I could handle that one, Jess. Because if I knew that there was something with more than 4 legs in it, I might struggle to not think that through. At a survival camp where you could only have food you found. Oh, and no bugs for Mona. Agreed. I think that might be where I draw the line. So there's a lot that Mona's winning on, and then there's a lot that Rita's winning. Yeah, Terry says never eating an animal's tongues or organs. Don't eat meat anyway. Oh, wow, William. He said that he's had duck soup that came with a duck's head. It was actually pretty tasty. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think that just gave me a mental image I didn't need. So we are done with that question. Andrea, welcome in. She says fried rattlesnake. I could probably handle that as long as the head isn't there. Welcome in, Jennifer. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. All right, so we're going to try something tonight. The turtle soup in the... Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys have had some life experiences. Seriously. You guys have had some life experiences. All right, so I'm going to do one more little spoof about my retreat coming up. Scrambled eggs with... Yeah, no, I'm good, Rita. We're good. All right, so the retreat is coming up this month. It is February 22nd, 23rd. It is a Zoom retreat, so it is all online and is not broadcast on YouTube. So nobody that is on YouTube is going to see what you look like. So you do not have to worry about anything like that. It is all off the internet, so you're not going to be, not going to be broadcasting your home environment to anyone else other than the retreat attendees, and they're all subscribers or commenters on this channel. If you want to sign up, go click that link, go sign up for it. It is free. There is no charge for it. You just have to be a commenter or subscriber to the channel. That way I know who you are, okay? That is the requirement. Oh no. Andrea says, howdy everyone. She's been watching on the TV while she sews. She's pulling her hair out over the woven star block. That's similar to one that I've done recently. And if you don't lay it out just right, it is definitely a challenge. I can read it. You know what? Let me do that. Let me do that while I am thinking about it. Because if I do forget, I will not check it until like right before. Because we got more time before the retreat. So don't panic just yet. We got a lot of time. We got a lot of time left. All right. For some reason, it is not showing me there. Let me see if it's showing me here. It's not showing me there. Let me make sure we've got the retreat responses going where they're supposed to be going. There we go. All right. Let's see. Sherry, Rita, yes, you are registered. Pam, Judy, Chloe, Katie Crafts, Joyce, and Shelby. You guys are registered. So I do have you guys registered for the retreat. So yes. And you can pop in as you need to go. Or you can pop in as you have time. You can pop back out, all of that. Oh, it's no, they're not gonna see your face in they're just on Zoom. Just on Zoom. It's like, coming to a in-person retreat. Oh, all right. Okay, so I think I'm caught up on everything. Okay, everybody's just saying hi to everybody. Okay, you're very welcome, Rita. You're very welcome. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of discussion tonight, and um, oh, you'll be thrifting that weekend. Well, you can stop in when you're done for the evening, like come in, hang out for an hour or whatever. It's gonna start sometime Saturday morning. Probably about 6 a.m. Saturday morning. That's what I'm hoping to do. So about the same time Sean goes live, or well, if he goes live on that Saturday on the 22nd, it would be about the time he goes live then. And we're just gonna hang out, and you can come and go. You can come and go. It's just gonna end 1 hour before my live Sunday night. Rita says, I think it might be too late for no one seeing my face. You're fine, Rita. You are so fine. It is February 22nd and 23rd, Katie. That's when the retreat is. But I will send out more information. You guys will get an email before the retreat, and I will give you a definite time. So, yeah, it's going to be relaxed. It's going to be, enjoy your time. It's not going to be a rush or anything like that. So it's come hang out. And it'll run through the night. So you guys can come in and, sew in the middle of the night and then go, get some rest while other people come in and sew. However you want to do it. However you want to do it. Okay? We're laid back. Sherry says, I can't believe a year has already passed. Yeah, from the time we started the channel, yes. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys over. Let me make one more change to what I'm seeing on my screen. There we go. All right. So you guys are going to see me and what I'm showing. Let's see. No kidding. 2024 is it? But yes, it did. It did. It so did. All right. We're going to make some changes so I can actually get a hold of things on my computer at the same time. Okay. So what I've got up on my screen, I went and took pictures today of a quilt, and it's in pretty bad shape. It's in pretty bad shape. This is the back side of the quilt. It's a t-shirt quilt, and the people that sent these t-shirt quilts in, or sent these t-shirts in, I don't know if they were really told about what was going to happen. But I don't know if you can see. Let me grab my mouse so I can get it in front of me real quick. Oh, not that screen. That screen. That screen's what I'm looking for. All right. So I can see what you guys are seeing. So right through here is where the fabric is just shredded. So this leaf pattern shirt is just absolutely shredded, guys. Absolutely shredded. Um, and so I went over there, and it was actually today. I'm still wearing the same shirt. um, I looked at this shirt in detail, or I looked at this quilt in detail, and what you're seeing here, it is all messed up. Yes, it is, Rita. It is all very messed up. Um, why is it? I don't know why it's not zooming. Okay, maybe that's as far as it'll let me zoom. So if you can see, I'm showing right here the backside of the green t-shirt that's in here. And then where it's connected to the next t-shirt over. All of these seams, they're just flat serged. That is all that they are done. There's no interfacing on the back of these shirts. There's nothing supporting this shirt. So this is the back of the entire quilt. I was wearing my beautiful black. This is the back of the quilt. There's no quilting through the center of this quilt. It is a minky kind of backing. It's kind of like a fleece almost, maybe. But it's a thin minky. It's a thin minky. But there's no batting in here at all. And I had to cut off the top because it had some identifying information for the person that these shirts were made from, his wardrobe. But this quilt is 4 blocks wide by 4 blocks tall. So this lap quilt is just 16 blocks, and they measured about just over 14 inches, approximately, when we measured them out. And when the company that did this, and it was a company, when the company that did this sent this quilt back, they said, don't wash it. It's not designed to be washed. It is designed to be loved until it's worn out, basically, is the equivalent to what they said. But they just said, don't wash it. So on these shirts that have the buttons, they did stitch down the placket here. Welcome in, Lana. So they stitched down the placket here, and they stitched down the placket here from where these shirts, would open up. They just straight stitched those down. They did not stitch this pocket over here on this blue shirt closed, and they didn't stitch either of these other 2 pockets closed either. So you can open this pocket. This one you can't open completely because they stitched it right in the pocket. The other pocket, you can open that one completely. Stick your hand completely in. You can feel the whole pocket. But, so they didn't do the same thing on both sides. This is another view of the torn up shirt. So this is the shirt. This green shirt's okay. This black, this gray, and the other 2 shirts down here are just fine. But this Hawaiian themed shirt just absolutely shredded. So, I mean, it looks okay laid flat like this, but this shirt is just disintegrated. And it's disintegrated along this line between the green and the Hawaiian pattern. And here I am, I'm putting my whole hand into this quilt. They didn't even put a binding on this quilt. It is stitched just around the outside and then turned inside out. That is literally how this t-shirt quilt was assembled. And then there's another shirt on this quilt that already has holes in it. So this shirt would be the next one that's going to fall apart. So let me go back a couple of pictures. We're gonna hang out. Let's go back to this right here. We're gonna hang out on that picture. So Sherry says that she would take it apart and start again. Judy says that's horrible. What are they wanting you to do with it? They put a button-up shirt on a t-shirt quilt. Yes, Rita. Sherry said it's like a memory quilt. It is a memory quilt. Says it's going to be, yes, it is. Not well at all. Gives quilters not a good reputation. Okay, so here's the backstory. Here's the rest of the story that goes along with this atrocity that you guys are seeing. Welcome in, Laura. Glad you're here. So when people come to quilters and they ask us to make t-shirt quilts, or they ask us to make memory quilts or memory bears or things like that. A lot of people may not know where to find a quilter. They may not have any idea where to find us. And things like t-shirt quilts, you and I probably would take the time and do it right. We would take the time, we would interface every shirt before we cut it out. We would take the time to center the designs, because if you see the Wyoming Cowboys shirt here, I don't know how far up they could have gone. The t-shirt with the buttons, or the button, the two pockets, I would have totally centered that. I would have made room to make sure that that shirt had the ability to have both pockets open. So the backstory is that these were garments that were sent off to a company. I will not name the company, so please don't ask me to. I don't want to mess up and tell you accidentally, because my intention is not to tell you. Because I do know what company made it. But these shirts were sent off to a company to have this quilt made. And guys, there is no quilting. There is no quilting. Unless you count making a French seam at the edges, quilting, there is no quilting. Rita says they just took all the person's favorite shirts and made it into a memory quilt. Exactly. Interfacing and batting would have helped a lot. It absolutely would have. It absolutely would have. So what the person who's going to fix it, they asked for my opinion. And what they're going to do is they're going to seam rip the entire outside edge. They're going to take out the seam that is holding the seam in place. And they're going to take out the outside seam as well. Bear with me just a second. Oh, I don't want to hear the bone. The bone is fine, but I don't want to hear it right now. So they're going to take the outside edges off. They were given another shirt that belonged to the person that this is a memory quilt in memory of. He picked up his other one and left. Kind of. We'll see how loud he gets. If he gets too loud, let me know, and I will confiscate the other one too. But they're going to replace that one shirt area, that the shirt that's falling apart, with a different shirt, and they're going to interface the whole back of the quilt as it is currently put together. You guys really can't see it in the pictures, but looking at it in person, the seam lines aren't even lined up. I sent some of these pictures to my husband just to show him what I was talking about. Joyce T says she can't hear him at all. That's good. That's very good. Welcome in, Nancy. Glad you're here. How's the husband doing? I hope he's doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, but I hope he's doing well too. So the seams don't even line up. All of the inside seams are serged. So they did machine sew with a straight stitch to sew the button areas down on the plackets of those shirts. But they didn't sew the pockets down. The only good, Nancy says he's doing better. Very good. That's great news. So there's a lot of things that they didn't do. I looked up t-shirt quilts because of this. I went researching t-shirt quilt companies, and I was hit immediately. I agree, Rita, but it's a matter of also balancing the amount that it would cost to do that with what the client can pay for. She says, if that were me, I would take the time to completely take it apart and redo it. Yeah, I would. But that's me. And we're trying to save the customer, the final client. We're trying to save her money. So, it's This is more a labor of love than it is a labor to make money, but we're trying to cover expenses. Um, so I don't know how much was spent on a quilt like this, but I priced it out. Um, the cost would be worth it. The cost would be worth it. But we're all the person who's going to redo it is also going to add quilting to it and add a true binding to the outside edges, which is going to extend the life of it as well. So there's going to be interfacing added to the top, to the entire back of the top. It's going to have batting added, quilting added, and then the outside binding is going to be put on. So the cost of the quilt like this, if I were to order it today with discounts, I would be looking at over $150 after shipping. So over $150 for somebody to take my shirts that I sent them, cut them however they choose to cut them, however they think is best to cut them. Let them lay it out in whatever layout they want to lay it out in. Sew them together. Pillowcase style, put the backing on, turn it right side out, and just do a quick stitch around the entire outside edges. I could definitely look, Melanie. She says, today Power Tools with Thread YouTube talked about how she does her t-shirt quilts and she's a really good quilter. I don't know if you'd be interested. Yeah, I mean, that would be fine. That would absolutely be fine. I know how I would do my t-shirt quilts. I've done some before. I definitely wouldn't do it the way this company is doing them. Sherry says that's way under. Yeah, $150, and that's including, that's just a little over $150, including shipping. It's crazy cheap, crazy inexpensive, but you're getting what you pay for. Laura says, my BFF for 45 years wanted me to make a memory quilt with her father's shirts. Normally, I never say no, but this time I did. Honestly, I didn't want the responsibility. She's paying $350 for it. Yeah. So the same company that we could order this one through, if we wanted to have this quilted, we'd be looking at over $300 to have this quilted on the long arm. I don't know if they would be adding batting or not, but it would be over that. Another company that I looked at that would be doing a similar job on putting this together would only run $75 for this kind of quilt with this kind of quality. That could also fall apart if my garments fall apart within a short period of time. The top and the backing layers are not attached at all on this quilt. And it's heartbreaking. It is so heartbreaking because it is falling apart, and I don't know the exact age, but I know it is less than 3 years old. This quilt is less than 3 years old. T-shirt quilt inexpensive. You're going to get what you pay for. There's no way that could be quilted as it sits right now. No, it couldn't. It definitely couldn't. Right, Laura. She says, Pam, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do it the way she had it pictured in her mind. And that is one of the huge issues with doing t-shirt quilts for people, is that, what I may have pictured in my mind might not be what you have pictured in your mind. And it might not be what, Mr. Siberian Wind has pictured in his mind. Like, I mean, whoever we pick, everybody's gonna have a different idea. Everybody's gonna have a different idea. Judy, I agree. She says, I feel bad for the owner of this quilt. The company took advantage of the customer. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. There are 16 shirts in this quilt. Terry says that she made her granddaughter's t-shirt quilt. I interfaced every block, made a charm pack backing, added batting, of course, and quilted it. Worth it? Yeah, let's do it again. I hope not. Holy wow. I wonder if the people that had it washed it and dried it, even though they were told not to. No, they did not. They did not. Jess says she wants to make a t-shirt quilt. I can guide you guys on making a t-shirt quilt if you guys want me to. I do have a stack of shirts that I want to turn into a t-shirt quilt for myself. I don't know how many shirts I've got right now, but I think I have enough that I could do it justice. Pam says, Laura, that's why I don't think I'll ever long arm for anyone, right? right? That's a challenge. So here's the other thing. And I'm not going to bash any one particular company. So that's why I'm struggling. I'm struggling, guys, because I know these companies' names now, and I am beside myself beside myself raging mad because someone is heartbroken because their garment fell apart because it wasn't quilted, because they didn't know that they needed to pay for quilting, because they didn't know what to order or what not to order. It's just a blank company face. Welcome in, Alex. She says she makes memory quilts and interface all the blocks and include the quilting in the price. Yeah, you have to. You have to. I wonder how a t-shirt quilt would work to turn into a rag quilt. Use fleece to back it. As long as you're quilting each of those blocks, like tacking everything in place, you should be okay. That would cost around $700 or so from start to finish. Yes, it should. It should. Laura says, if it was a quilt for my husband or one of my kids, that's one thing. However, the emotion surrounding a memory quilt is huge. Yes. So the one good advantage, yes, I am putting my hands in my sleeves. The one advantage of doing a quilt for someone else is you don't have that emotional connection with the garments. So you're not sitting there, reliving your loved ones, life or memories or whatever. You're not having that emotional toll as well as the physical toll of making the quilt. So a company doing it, I get the concept, but this is the quality that came back to this customer, and 2 to 3 years later it's falling apart. And it's heartbreaking that she's having to have it repaired and sacrifice a shirt that was important to her to see, in order to have a complete project, a complete item. I make t-shirt quilts and I am in contact by text of the layout and that I like and give them the chance to change the squares in special order. I also make sure they quilted sufficiently. Exactly. Guess I have to test out on some purple t-shirts I have. Yes, Rita, absolutely. Terry says, Laura, my cousin's husband died and she asked me to make one from his shirts. I could not do it. Way too emotional. She was upset, but I think she is over it now. Yeah, and sometimes you have to do it in a good time, and you have to separate it some time. You have to put some time and distance between you and the loved one that you're making the quilt for. It's a lot easier to do it for someone else than to do it for someone that you knew. There's definitely that emotional toll to it. Terry says that she still has her dad's shirts hanging in the closet like he had them in his. Would never think to cut them. Yeah. Sherry says I would make memory quilts out of parents' clothes, but it took me a year before I could start. Exactly. That is the challenge. Is you have to give yourself some time to grieve before you can dive into it. This quilt, appropriately enough, it was more than a year after my friend passed away before I could even think about tackling this and putting this together. Okay, so this tumbling blocks, it's not t-shirts, but it is just as emotionally charged for me as a t-shirt quilt of your loved one's t-shirts would be. So here's the rub. Here's the additional rub. And I even called my husband. I said, "Okay, I have an ethics question for you." And my husband, I love him dearly. And Mr. Siberian Wind is a fantastic decorator, but he is not a quilter. He is not a quilter. I don't think I would put him in front of a sewing machine and expect him to know how to run it. I mean, he's seen me do it enough. He should know, but I'm not going to expect him to know. Let's put it that way. So here's the ethical part of the dilemma. In addition to the fact that they did such a cheap job that was paid for extensively. I mean, I could get it for $150 right now. at one company and $75 at a different company, depending on which one I went through of the two that I was researching today. Welcome in, the Cheeky Quilters. Glad you are here. Thank you. Chloe says that her husband can sew. Mine can, but I've never seen him do it. He defers all of his sewing projects to me. He doesn't. It's like my thing with cooking. I can cook, but I let him do it. So I think he lets me do all the sewing. Rita says that her husband and a sewing machine would be worse than a bull in a china shop. I love it. So, okay, so here's the other problem. I found out that the workers that are doing the work for one of the t-shirt companies that I could hire if I were to be hiring this kind of work out, and this is why it came up. You know what? I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this off for a minute. Okay. Cheeky Quilter says her husband's not allowed near any sewing paraphernalia. My husband knows to ask, which scissors he can use for cutting things. If he needs to cut something that's crafty or something, he asks me which ones because he knows not to touch the sewing scissors. He knows to ask to make sure he's using the right ones. So if you were to hire a company that you knew hired the homeless and paid them pennies on the dollar of what they were worth, it's a question of whether or not you would hire them. If they are recovering alcoholics in a program and part of paying back, like let's say they were on probation, they had messed up something severely, part of paying back the people that they tore up a vehicle of or crashed into someone's property and did damage, part of the way that they're making their money to pay those people back is through making your quilts. Even if you support that, which is fine, I would fully support somebody, hiring someone who is recovering or needs help, needs a helping hand up. I fully support that. But I want to know that that's where my money is going. If it's kind of it's kind of a question of whether or not they're getting paid fair wages. So if I were to hire someone and I'm trying to give them, if I'm trying to give them a helping hand and part of their wages are being garnished, or the majority of their wages are being garnished to pay back the state or pay back the government or pay back, some person that they owe money to, that they have no control over how much is being paid back. And they're only getting paid $2 an hour to work on that project for me. I completely have a problem with that. I absolutely have a problem with that because that's not fair wages. But at $160, $150 plus a quilt, can I actually pay someone fair wages at that price? So without going pointing fingers, if you are going to send out a job like this, if you're going to send out a t-shirt quilt, or if you're going to recommend someone send a t-shirt quilt out to a company where they're not meeting directly with the quilter who is going to make their project, I highly recommend that you redirect them to someone where they are going to meet the person who's going to make their quilt. Please, please, please support people who are being paid fairly for their time, fairly for their effort, fairly for their skill. Even if your skill level is comparable to what I was showing tonight, you should be paid fairly for doing that. You should absolutely be paid fairly. Does that mean it might cost more? Absolutely. It might cost a whole lot more. But that's what we need to keep in mind in the quilting community. Do not underprice yourself on things that you should be making money on. Let's see, if they're working on something as special as a memory quilt, they need to know what they're doing, and they should always be paid the right way and not below what they need to live on. True. Very, very true. They do need, everyone should be paid a fair wage. I'm using voice control and it's not doing very good tonight. So sure, no worries, no worries. It's called a case of you get what you pay for. True, true. So when somebody approaches you and asks you to do a quilt for them, I just have to issue one piece of advice. Please, above all else, when somebody says, well, I can order it online for less than $300, or I can get it done for about $350, and it would honestly take you about $600 to do that for them, remind them that you are paying yourself a fair wage, and that whoever they're going to pay the $150 for, or the $350 for their quilt for, may not be getting paid a fair wage for doing that project. And that everybody should be researching, if they're going to send it off to a company where they're not seeing a face that's going to make their quilt or make their project for them, please encourage your friends. Please encourage strangers that come up to you and see that you quilt, see that you sew. Please encourage them to make sure that whoever they are ordering their project or ordering their items through is getting paid fairly for their work. Rita says, a friend of hubby's asked if I would make them a quilt, for which they were gladly going to pay $50. I said okay and handed hubby a pot holder. Said there's a $50 quilt. I love it, Rita. That is fantastic. And that's accurate. That is very accurate. Nancy said that she helped a friend make a t-shirt quilt. We had an extra long sleeve shirt left. I made her a pillow. I left the arms and stuffed them, then buttoned them together. She can wrap them around. Oh, I love that idea, Nancy. I love that. They should get paid just like anyone else. Yes, they should. They should. Pam says fair wages for work is great. Otherwise, nope. Yeah. And that's where a lot of, Amber, she says, I'm sorry I missed the beginning of this conversation. No worries. So the problem is, someone paid for a t-shirt quilt company a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, to make a t-shirt quilt. It was a lap size quilt, and it is now falling apart. And I know the person who's going to be repairing it, and she's going to have to interface the entire back of the t-shirt quilt because none of it was interfaced. There was no batting and there was no quilting. It was very poorly, very shoddily done work. So she's going to have some work cut out for her to fix this quilt for this lady. But this lady was basically, she paid, I don't know how much, she or someone else paid, but if I were to order it today, I would be looking at about $150 from one company or $75 from another. And it's just crazy that anybody thinks that they're going to get a quality product for those costs, but those companies are out there because that's what people are looking for. Alex says, I tell them that I'm getting paid for my time, and the price I pay for stuff like fabric and thread is different than what big companies pay. It is true. It is very true. There are sketch people out there. Yes, there are. Now, here's the other drag about it. One of the companies that I was researching today, when I started searching the one company that I know that this quilt was made through, there was another company out there that was completely throwing this one company under the bus. Like, it's like, let's say me and it's Kennedy are in here, and I'm throwing it's Kennedy under the bus, telling you guys that she doesn't do good work, and her throwing me under the bus, telling you guys that I don't wear makeup when I do. Like, it'd be mudslinging. It's mudslinging. There's no sugar coating. It's mudslinging. Welcome in, Ali. Glad you're here. So we look at the companies that are out of the Asian continent, um, without saying words. We look at companies that are out of the Asian continent, and they're selling us items that in the United States we would pay $10 to $20 for. They're selling it for $1 to $2, because they're selling it in bulk. They can get away with that. But you get what you pay for. So a lot of times that, you know, we're now getting it in that realm. We're getting it in that realm too. Let's see. The biggest catch is wanted a Bargello quilt for $50. I left at that one and said I would not even cut one strip for $50, let alone an entire quilt. Right. Pam says quilting is more than simple sewing. It's an art form requiring skill. Precisely. It's Kennedy says, I've told people what the price is. They say they can get one at the store for cheaper. I tell them, you should do that. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. I've seen this before. They get paid $2 an hour, but it costs $13 to $18 an hour. They say they are garnished, but no court would garnish like that. It's an NGO style work program, and they skim from the worker's wage. Maybe report them if this is happening. Yeah, it's a matter of being able to accurately report the company. So she's tell them she can make it better, but she can't make it perfect. Right. Yeah, right, Terry. I agree. I figure my time is worth $40-$50 an hour plus cost of supplies, says Rita. Right, exactly. They can make the same as us for 75% the cost. That's true. That's true. Sometimes they're making it the same quality as what we would make, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they are not. There's a alterations lady that I follow. She does a lot of YouTube videos, and people buy these dresses that are supposedly designer dresses, and they're getting it for $200 or less, or maybe $300 or less. And these are $1,500 gowns. Like, these are crazy expensive gowns, but they're getting it for like $300 or less, they think. And what comes in is not ever what they thought they were ordering. And sometimes it looks okay on them, but sometimes it doesn't. And frequently they need alterations. And it's just crazy what so many people think they are getting when they're shopping online. But it's happening here in the quilting world, guys. It is happening. Joy T says, yeah, but you can give a company who did crappy work an honest review to make others aware and prevent them from going through the same. Bingo. You can. Here's the other problem. The other problem with doing the review. Let's say we'll go with Walmart, just because Walmart's not going to come after me, because there's no way I'm going to actually do any of this, okay? Full disclaimer, this is hypothetical. I'm using Walmart's name just because it's simpler. Let's say I go to my local Walmart. Welcome in, Linda. She just got back from Costco and just as expensive as fabric. It is, right? It is. So let's say I go to Walmart and I have the worst experience possible. It's happened. Everybody has the worst experience possible at a Walmart, okay? Everybody has it. It happens. We all have it. Do we still go back? Frequently, a lot of us do. I live near 2 Walmarts. It's hard not to. But let's say I go post on Walmart's page, or I go post a review about how awful my experience was. I name all these people that I dealt with in the store, from electronics to HBA to pharmacy to cashier to customer service. Let's say I interacted with all 5 of those people during my one Walmart trip, and I decided to completely roast Walmart and roast all of these employees of Walmart. It would not take Walmart any challenge to go take that comment down. If that were to happen, Like if I had interactions with all five of those people, I could totally write a review and tell you guys that this is the Walmart I will never go back to. But Walmart could have that taken down. Same thing with these quilting companies that are mass producing these memory quilts for people. If I have a bad experience with one of these quilting companies, my review might get somewhere and it might get taken down. A lot of these review places where you can review things, if you are the company owner, you can go in and you can dispute it. You can have it removed. You can, say all of these things about why that review is not valid to have it taken down, and it does no good. It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do them any harm. It doesn't do anyone else any good having that review done. However, we're in the quilting community. You guys that are here tonight, you guys are part of the quilting community, whether you quilt or not. But you're a part of the quilting community. You guys hang out in the quilting community chats. You are on YouTube. You guys are spending that kind of time. And you're the ones most likely to get asked, hey, can you do a t-shirt quilt for me? How much is it going to cost? And you guys can say, hey, look, don't ever go to one of those big box t-shirt company, programs, because you might be paying only, a fraction of what it would cost me to do it. But you're also going to get the quality of a fraction of what I would, of what I would be doing. So you guys have that forum to be able to do that. Joy T says, I don't see harm recommending someone over another. See, that's the thing. I absolutely would recommend someone local that somebody could see and, walk into their studio or meet in the Walmart parking lot, absolutely somebody local to them. There's almost always a quilter nearby. Or, somebody in the community and we'll help you find somebody. Judy says, is Yelp the same way? Can the business force Yelp to take it down? Probably. Most of them do. Most of them do have a way to advocate on behalf of your business. There's a saying that goes something like, be careful of the toes you step on today. They might be attached to the behind of someone you have to deal with tomorrow. They might be. They might be. And that's what I'm saying. I would really absolutely love to go after this one company, because this is a travesty that this one person's quilt is in such bad shape, and all they're doing is doing what they were told. They didn't wash it. They didn't do any of this other stuff. But it was not made to withstand any kind of wear. It's Kennedy says, I think it would be good if we as quilters help someone who wants a memory item made. We can help someone who doesn't know what it takes to make a quilt, kind of help guide them. Oh, absolutely. Completely agree with that. Joy T says, that can be done by any business. The best thing to do is tell people to do research and ask for help in researching. I'm glad Rita brought up Better Business Bureau. I actually looked at the Better Business Bureau reviews for both quilting companies that I was researching today, and both of them have high ratings. They both have very high ratings and very few complaints. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Amber, absolutely. They should be able to wash it, but they were told not to. They were told not to wash it. And the reason is there's no quilting. So it is literally one t-shirt serged to the next t-shirt. And now granted, our clothes are made that way. But our clothes are smaller items than a lap size quilt usually. Yeah, and sometimes our clothes are also reinforced, which helps. But yeah, they were told not to wash it. So I want every quilt that I make to be able to be washed, to be loved, to be not dog chewed on, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Pam says, I think the Better Business Bureau became a subscription. Yes, they can, Pam. She says the business can dispute reviews there. Yes, they absolutely can dispute the reviews. Um, uh, and Alex says the thing too. She says, I don't think people think about calling the Better Business Bureau. They, even if they do, um, that's only one tool. So one company is mudslinging the other company is hiding the truth of the wages that they're paying their workers. Um, and it's who can you trust? And I think the answer is, in this situation, neither one of them. But that's without me, telling you what companies the names are. All right, so I got a question for you guys. You know what? Yeah. Hopefully your person will get the quilt properly repaired. Oh, it will be. It will be. It's in it can I say? I'm going to say it's Kennedy's very, very capable hands. She will handle it. She's got it well under control, but she was as heartbroken. She was heartbroken about it and shared with me. And I am just as heartbroken. I'm actually angry. I'm not just heartbroken. I'm angry at how poorly that quilt is holding up. Agreed. And I don't even know the client that this quilt goes to. But I'm angry for her. I'm angry for her. All right. What is your favorite way to celebrate and acknowledge your own growth and achievements? So it's a change of topic, but how do you celebrate and acknowledge when you've grown or when you've achieved something? Do you throw a party? Do you go hang out with friends? Terry says, so sad. Yes, it was. It was. It's going to be turned around. It's going to be turned around. I am hoping that we get to see a finished quilt or finished project when it's, yeah. Alex says, I wouldn't call it a quilt. I probably shouldn't, but the company that made it says. Rita says she celebrates by making something for herself. Alex says that she doesn't. Oh, you've got to acknowledge your growth and your achievements. Sherry says that she shares it with other people. Oh, that's a fantastic way to celebrate. Because then you are not only going, hey, look, I did XYZ. You're saying, I did XYZ and I'm proud of myself. And that's a good feeling. Terry says, I smile a lot when I accomplish something. Smiling is enough for me. You're the inside joke person. Okay, gotcha. Chloe says, no party. Tell those that matter to me. The Tiki culture. She says, I brag to everyone. I love it. I love it. Pam says that she's not good at celebrating herself. I easily celebrate others. Okay. So, celebration is all inside my mind, says Ollie. Oh my gosh. You've got to celebrate yourself. You've got to celebrate yourself. It's Kennedy. I love it. She says chocolate. Oh gosh. I'm not a chocolate fanatic. Let's see, or maybe that should be finally making videos that I do not edit. Rita, you're so funny. You're so funny. So yeah, you need to. I know this is a talking night. I'm so sorry. Like it's just talking, and I feel bad because I'm normally sewing. But I needed to take the machine down. Let's see. That's what my comment also meant. I'm just happy inside. Andrea says, if I have money, I buy something for myself that I'm been wanting or needing. That's a great way to celebrate too. Putting a goal as something that you can achieve once you've reached a goal or an acknowledgement of a growth or achievement. It's Kennedy trying to think of something funny. Sherry says that she's with you, Rita. I'm proud though that I am at 77 subscribers. Oh, come on, Alex. All right. You guys, if you have a channel, do exclamation selfie in the chat. Give everybody a link to your channel. Come on, let's celebrate everybody. Ollie says, if I celebrate, there's an expense. If there is an expense, I can't get good things like more fabric or attachments and machines. Oh, Amber says she has a ton of unedited videos. Sherry says, Tammy, this is a very good topic to be discussing. Thank you, Sherry. Amber says she's enjoying the chat. Don't forget to give thumbs up. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. Finally, somebody said it. Sherry says we always have to remember to have our quality high for our customers, right? Absolutely. All right, so Terry's link is in the chat, you guys. Rita says I just choose not to edit, as that is how it really is. Yes, I talk to myself all the time. Love it. All right, and there's Rita's channel, guys. Go click links and go subscribe. Like and comment on at least one video. Make sure it's appropriate to the video, whatever you comment. Make sure that the content creators know that you actually watched the video. It really does help our mood, I promise. Alex says, I have new video coming out Thursday after being sick for 2 weeks. Oh, perfect. We need a new video, Alex. We need a new video. Chloe says, glad you're feeling better, Alex. Right? Agreed. All right. So I'm making sure that I've also got all of you guys subscribed, because you guys get to put your links in the chat all the time, and sometimes I don't get to click and subscribe, and I'm making sure that all of my subscriptions are currently active too. We're double checking that. There we go. Sherry's got hers as well. Let's see. And I am subscribed to you as well. I thought so. Judy says that she answers herself too. Sometimes I give the right answers. Okay. Talking to yourself is fine. Answering yourself is fine. The problem is when you have to ask yourself to repeat yourself because you didn't hear yourself the first time. Bam says I watch a ton on replays and always thumbs up. Yes. And guys, the littlest blurb you will ever find me do, last, I think December, maybe November or December, I took down a lot of videos. Those are back up now. So I haven't been putting all the captions on. So if we didn't do it live with the captions, they're not up there. But there is more content here to go check out. So if you have not checked out some of my older videos, or you need something to play, watch on repeat or whatever, or there was something that you wanted to watch from way back when, it is back up and available. Oh, I will have to go watch it, Rita. She says, William finished the denim coat. Oh, it's so amazing. Yes. Linda is waiting on you, Alex. Jess, you can drop your channel in there as well. Everybody that has a channel, you guys do exclamation selfie. So the way that I typically celebrate and acknowledge an achievement or growth or something like that is I take a picture. I literally forget to take pictures of lots and lots of the things that I have done. So I don't always remember to take a picture, but so many times I do remember to take a picture, and it is absolutely worth having that picture for, because I can come back and review my pictures, like go through my camera roll, and I can see everything that I've done, and I can relive the moments of creating whatever it was that got done. Oh boy. I'm glad you guys don't have smell-o-vision. My puppy. His food must not like him that much. But yeah. There we go. Jess and Andrea, you guys have dropped their channel links in here as well. And let me make sure that my computer is cooperating with me. There we go. Yep, I am subscribed to both of you like I thought I was. I'm just double checking. But yeah, you need to celebrate your achievements. When you do that, you remember the feeling you were having when you did the project. Yes, Rita. Bingo. So I have music memories. So I play music frequently when I'm working on projects. I could tell you like the channel that I've got playing kind of right now as I'm working through this stack of quilts that I've only gotten one done so far. Um, but um, oh my gosh, guys, my dog. Uh, but I've gotten one done. I'm still having thread shredding. I am working on the second one, but I am doing it kind of like I told Lana I was going to do it, and I'm Zentangling. So every block is a new quilting design. So it's like a 5-inch block or so, and it's all set on point. And I've got about 18 of the blocks done. I think there's like 13 left, something like that, that are full size blocks. Um, and so I'm working through that. I hope to have that one quilted by tonight. And the next one that I'm going to pull out, and I think I'm going to try to put it on the frame, back on the frame. Alex says she has dogs and knows what I'm talking about. My fur baby was that way yesterday. It smells so bad, says Nancy, right? Sherry says, wow, Tammy. Yes, I did not know that is what it was. Music memory. I play either music or TV. I have to have something playing to sew. Music and sense maker core memory. Yes, they do. Okay. So I have told you guys before, I think. I have prosopagnosia, so I have no facial recognition of other people. So I could walk up to my mom, I could walk up to my dad, and unless I know that it's them because of the way they walk or hearing their voices or some other mannerism that they do that I've gotten committed to memory, I don't have any clue who they are. So even you guys, like Jess and then Kathy and Katie and all of you that I see all the time, I would have no idea who you are. If your voice does not sound in person like your voice on your YouTube channel, like if there's some kind of audio disruption between the two, I would have no idea who you were. Like you could walk up to me, shake my hand, and I would have no idea. No idea who you were. I might guess. Yeah, Lee's putting this song in the chat. Oh, take a picture, Tammy. Yes, I mean I do take pictures. I do, but I don't like. There's one song, and guys, I sewed probably 20 projects while hearing the song when it first came out, and it's that Delilah song. Hey there, Delilah. Whatever that song is. That song. I cannot tell you how many projects I sewed when that song first came out. That song literally now stops me in my tracks. I have very vivid, just time and place memories to that song. So every time I hear that song now, I am taken back to my old studio that I had, the old furniture that I had, the flooring that was in that room. That was actually where I got when I got the chair that I normally am sitting in with the arms on it. I got that chair about that same time frame. I had this one other chair in my studio. I had different shelving units. Um, I had a lot more fabric at the time. Like I can go back in my photo albums, like my digital photo album stuff, and find pictures that are literally from that time zone. I can tell you exactly that was going to be like that. Judy says, I met a man like that. He took pictures of us and put our names on it so he would be able to know who we were. So, funny story. If you tell me this is a picture of so and so, if I can remember that face, that image enough for whatever reason, like I have some point of context to remember it, I will forever remember that image as the image of so and so. But if they've changed their hair color, grown, had crow's lines, or gray hair, forget it. I can't tell. I know exactly how you feel, as I have retinitis pigmentosa with cortical blindness, so I do not see faces other than, yes, maybe it is a person. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, see, I can't sing, Jess. You would have to sing it for me. I can't sing. But I can remember the pitches of it. So I can place a song. So when people do remakes now, I can totally place where I think I've heard that tune before. There's one, I was watching somebody's video and they were playing Jurassic Park in the background. And there's parts of the Jurassic Park song that I could hear through the speaker system or through the audio. And that is not what it sounded like. I can't place, I'd have to hear it again. But I was immediately thinking of something completely unrelated to Jurassic Park because I've never seen Jurassic Park. Oh dear, Jess. Without your pink glasses, I didn't recognize one of your shorts. Now that I can believe. I can take them off. I can still see. I can't read as well from distance, so I can still read the chat. And I can go and I have to take my time, but I can still read. I can see all of this up close. All of it's fine. I can see this perfectly fine, absolutely perfectly fine. But for being able to see distance and then seeing this better, I need my glasses. So this is the next one I'm going to be putting on, but I think I'm going to get it on the frame, back on the long arm frame. So it's folded in half right now. I'm going to have to press it out, but it is a round robin that I was gifted. And so, yeah, this will be the next one that goes up. So this will be quilt number 3 out of how many ever I've got left to do. But I have my box of batting nearby, so I can do all of that. Rita says, I did not like Jurassic Park. I jumped every time those little things come through that hole. Oh, no. I'm not a huge sci-fi person. My husband likes those Kong movies, like King Kong or whatever, or Planet of the Apes, or whatever the heck that stuff is. I don't even know. I just know it involves giant primates. That was my first and only round robin. Says it's Canadian. Oh, well, I am backing it in pink. It is pink. It's going to need to be pressed too. Do I have a cutie and a long arm? Yes. I have the long arm, and then I have cutie frame. So have you guys ever seen one of these before? Have you guys seen the cutie frame before? Oh. It is literally sitting on my floor. The bottom end of this is literally sitting on the floor. So I can take the top rail off. Sherry says she has not seen one before. Yeah. So the way that the cutie frame works, and he says, I think it would pass for an ugly quilt. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty if my thread doesn't keep breaking. Awesome, Melanie. She says she has a cutie frame and a Qnique 15 Pro. My brother is a vintage sci-fi person. Even his license plate has to do with one of them. I won't share that. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let me get my screen pulled up. There we go. So, it's going to be a little bit loud. I'm trying not to be loud. But it's going to be a little bit loud. Oh. Let's see. I think I've got enough room here. Without hitting my door handle. Yes, I do. Haha. I do. So this is a 2-foot table, and it's like 2 foot by 4 foot, which is actually plenty big. So if I got everything off the table, this frame would fit completely on here. Linda says, I love my Cuties frame. I use it with my Jazz too. My son built an above frame and sure stitch regulator. I need a stitch regulator, but I have not been able to find a long enough foot pedal cord or a replacement foot pedal cord for my Encore long arm. That's the next thing I need to invest in. Cutie frame reminds me of a torture device. Strap someone. Nah, not at all. So this is the take-up rail. This is the rail that your machine goes over. So once you get your quilt laid over this, there's a little carriage and all that to put on here as well, but it's sitting on the floor on the other side of the table. Then you have little elastic straps so you can keep the quilt from being in the way as your machine is going over it. So my straps right now are set to a fairly small amount of room. And then let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys are talking sci-fi. Y'all are losing me. And so this side as well. Once you've got your quilt hooped. So Terry says it is a hoop frame. I have many. Yeah, this is what I could afford. This is what somebody was selling inexpensively. My only complaint about it is that I don't have, it's not related to the Cutie frame. It's related to the fact that I don't have a foot pedal, like a button foot pedal. You guys have the cool stuff. I don't have the cool stuff. I just have the it's here stuff. So the person who owned it before me put masking tape on. So the blue masking tape you guys saw earlier is what she put on for the way her quilt or her machine fit in the frame. Good question. Nancy's asking, Terry, is yours smaller than this? I don't know how the frames compare, so I honestly wouldn't even know where to start with answering that one. Oh, it's not as long. Oh my gosh. I love having this size. Welcome in, Heather. Glad you're here. She says hi, Tammy and everyone. Glad you're here. So there's also, I don't have them on here right now, but the same kind of little clamps that are up here also are available for the sides. Yes, Terry says she's going to be loading a quilt as soon as her back and leg behave. So, I mean, I've got my long arm in the table right now. I could actually put Beauty on this machine frame as well. So I could be quilting there, on my long arm table, or quilting on the Cutie frame as well. I could be trading off. But I haven't. But this quilt will probably be going on the frame. So, all right, I'm gonna move it back off the table. It's not that heavy. It's just bulky, and I'm trying not to make a whole lot of noise. Okay, there we go. It's set down now. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I do have the Land That I Love. We're working on Thursday. I do already have those pieces put together. So everything that can be put together at this point is put together. So I've got 2 more weeks before we can put the next row on. Let's see. Alex says at least you have that. All I have is my little brother NQ 1700E embroidery machine that I use to quilt all my quilts. Well, before I got lucky. I got really incredibly lucky, Alex. Um, the lady that was selling her long arm was selling it half of what she paid. And it just happened to be in my budget. So she sold it to me for half of what she paid for it, brand new. Um, I mean, granted, I'm having issues with it, but I'm using a different thread than what she used, and I haven't taken it in to have somebody professionally put it to the right settings. And I don't know the last time it was serviced before I got it. And then the frame, I got that at a fraction of what it costs as well. A husband was wanting to upgrade his wife to a new quilting frame. He told her, he's retiring, so she needs to get what she actually wants versus, trying to use a small frame. So I'm jealous of the frame she has now, but I'm not there yet. I can't afford to be there yet. Let's see. I put a vintage frame on mine. Yes, I have. So the cutie frame, um, it's got handles that go underneath, that come underneath this area, like in front. So you're supposed to be able to move your machine that way. The lady's husband had already put a frame on the top, but it was based off of her smaller machine. Um, but I still make it work. It still works. It's just not as elegant. Um, yeah, you have to love it when you find those deals, right, Alex? I agree. Bought my long arm used from a dealer, good deal, and they upgraded it. Says Amber. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous, but I don't have 10. I don't even have a good 10 feet anywhere. Heather says I'm blessed to be able to go to an actual long arm showroom and quilt on long arm with or without automation. I worked there for a few years. Best education. Those frames are so much easier than the antique style, the colonial style quilting tables. Yes. Oh, Terry uses a vintage sewing machine on her frame. Yeah, I, if that's all I had, that's what I would use. If that's what I wanted to use, that's what I would use. Um, I happen to get lucky. My long arm is an 18-inch long arm, but there's no automation to it. It is the only automation to it is I can select whether I want the needle to stop up or stop down, and how fast I want the stitches per minute. Do I actually move the fabric fast enough to really be using the stitches per minute that I'm using? Probably not. But, I'm still learning too. I kicked my husband out of his man cave. Amber, that's so funny. I love it. I love it. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on, guys. That's what I'm going to go back to working on. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here for tonight. I want to thank you guys so much. You've been good sports. You've chatted about some weird food. We've chatted about goals, and we've chatted about t-shirt quilt companies that are not providing what we would expect for them to provide. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, for chatting. I appreciate it. Pam says she's working on becoming friends with her long arm. It's been a learning curve. Maybe after retirement, long distance move. Yes, definitely. Ollie says, I think you're saving money on not having automation long arm. Yeah, but I would really like to have the automation. It would speed up all of these 20-something quilts. I would actually be able to make a quilt top and actually quilt it in a reasonable amount of time. That's where my problem is right now. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you being here. If you've not already clicked for the retreat, don't worry. You guys still have more time. I will be back Thursday night. I may be quilting all through the day tomorrow. We're just gonna see how I do. But I will be here tomorrow, Thursday night, with Kathy from My Hobby Home, working on Land That I Love. You guys will get to see my progress. I'll put it back up on the wall, and then we will have a good Sunday night as well coming up with After Sunset Sunday. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you for hanging out with me. Oh, you're fine, Ray. And she says, "Good night. Sorry I was late. Was moving my sewing room around." You're fine. You're absolutely fine. But so thank you for being here. You know, if you haven't touched some fabric or thread lately, go touch some fabric and thread. Make your heart happy. Get some crafting time in, even if it's only 20 minutes here or there. Get some crafting time in. Feed your soul. Take a deep breath, and we will get through this week together.